became fans, or they watching us?
There,
Haters.
that
It's Cowboy hater season, and the haters watches more than their own damn team. They care about the Cowboy news. The Cowboys are in
I
the
watch I watch
headlines.
I watch all my Saints games. I don't necessarily watch them all in real time. Uh, yeah.
And all the haters are gonna be watching us. All eyes are on the star today, baby. Puro
Well, I
pinche
mean,
Cowboys a la verga.
well, literally, it's the only game being played today. So, and it's the first game of the
It's always
NFL season.
all eyes on the star, bro. Come on.
But tonight is everyone's watching. It's the start of the season. It's the start of the season, and
We're gonna be watching this all season.
we're watching the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
Take
they're
the
gonna be
field.
tuning in all season, Mike. They're gonna watch us all damn season.
Laughing at the 5-12 record that's upcoming.
They still be watching. Still counts. Still counts. Viewership matters.
NFL fans right now are like Nelson in The Simpsons. We just watch the Cowboys year after year after year and go,
What's up, everybody? Jay Pettis is Jonathan Pettis is watching. The real Bobby February is watching us. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Cowboy hater season is officially underway. I'm wearing my hat. I got everything ready to go.
I can dig you saying that.
And like Fernandez said, he said, good morning to Cowboy fan and Cowboy fan only.
How many fans are going to be around after the Cowboys have a losing season? That's what I want to know.
They'll be here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Last year, Cowboy fans jumped off the bandwagon real fast.
No, they're just being realistic, bro.
The real Bobby. I wake up with a hard one. What did I say, Joe? I gotta find that clip.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade, we rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, oh, it's the life that we chose.
Oh, dear God. It is Thursday, the start of the NFL season. My name is Mike Jimenez. It's Joe Garcia. This is the Area 210 podcast, powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera. It's a fantastic day, Joe, because it's finally here, the start of the NFL season. But more importantly, for a lot of sports fans in San Antonio and the surrounding area, it is the start of the Dallas Cowboys season. You're repping the blue and white right now, Joe. How excited are you for tonight's game, my man?
No, I'm excited, man.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
It's officially Cowboy hater season is underway. Sanchez, mamas, sisters, brothers, everyone. Tias, everyone's going to be watching the star, man. All eyes on the star starting today, boy. It's puro pinche Cowboys a la verga, dude.
You know what? I mean, I guess you can say the Dallas Cowboys are what? The Taylor Swift of football?
Everybody's watching us, man.
Everyone's watching, has a lot of haters, but everyone does watch, right? And there's a lot of fans of it all. The Cowboys taking the field tonight as big-time underdogs, 8.5-point underdogs last I saw, which is the widest spread of any game on the NFL slate for week one. I think that's a little bit too premature to do, okay? I know the Cowboys are coming in off of a losing campaign, not making the playoffs. I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl. All eyes on the Eagles, but this is a divisional rivalry game. This is a game that's going to matter come December, come January, if either team is going to make the playoffs. And I look at it this way, Joe. I think that this game, just simply because it's a divisional rival, is going to be closer to what people expect. I still think the Eagles are going to win, but I think the Cowboys cover the spread, and I think the Cowboys are going to make it interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys really just snuck out of there with a win. The Eagles have half their defense is gone from last year, Joe. When they unveiled the banner saying Super Bowl champion 2025, the Philadelphia Eagles, when they unveil that banner, half the defense is going to look and go, man, we're not part of that. We're not getting that ring. But
that's what's going to happen.
Is that what's going to happen after tonight's game, Joe? You're wearing the blue. You're wearing the blue and white,
Gonzalez
Joe.
is saying, get the Cowboy crying meme ready. And every time the Cowboys lose, that's the picture that we're going to display.
Joe, I have a question to ask you. Because you know what's going to be the big headline of it all, right? Beyond it being the start of the NFL season, beyond it being nationally televised on NBC and Peacock, which, by the way, I have to pick up my FUBU subscription. I dropped it like 4 months ago. I got to pick it up again today. Beyond all that, there's a report on ESPN.com today that said that the Cowboys had another trade offer for Micah
I saw
Parsons
that.
beyond the Green Bay Packers. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who called the Cowboys and said, hey, want to make a trade? Want to make a deal? My question for Cowboy fans is this, because here's the weird thing about the Cowboys, Eagles, and Micah Parsons. The Cowboys traded down in that draft from 10 to 12 back in the day and picked up Micah Parsons at 12. The Eagles in that trade, these two traded with each other early in the first round. Eagles moved up to pick up Devontae Smith, the wide receiver. They passed on Micah Parsons. Now, years later, they're coming back around wanting to get Micah Parsons. What if we find out, Joe, that the trade offer from Philadelphia was actually better than what Green Bay offered? Would you care if that's the case? Or is it one of
I
those things
wouldn't
where you
give
look
a
at it and say,
shit. I wouldn't give a shit because it's pinche lechuzas cagadas, dude. Why are you gonna go ahead and trade Micah to your division rival, dude? F all that, man.
okay, so what if the Eagles had offered 3 first-round draft picks and a couple of defensive players that are solid?
No, never,
Two,
no,
two starters, 3 first-rounders, as opposed to getting
no,
2 first-rounders and 1 starter.
no,
You wouldn't do it?
no, no. Especially not for no fucking Eagle, bro. Hell no.
Well, what's the
Hell no.
what's the problem, Joe? I mean, here's the thing: there are 30 teams in the NFL, 32 teams in the NFL. Why would you care at that point? It's not like Luka being traded to the Lakers.
You
where
know
it's
why?
a conference
Because Micah was
starter-
whining and complaining, demanding a trade, and you're gonna go ahead and put him with the Super Bowl contender. Nah, bro. F that, man. It's better
Joy-Con
off in Green Bay.
Joy-Con says pride comes before the fall. And that is true. The pride that is there. The Cowboys potentially could have gotten a better offer for Micah Parsons, but didn't.
No.
But this is going to be the big news that comes out, right? What is Micah Parsons going to do week 1 for Green Bay? The reports out there that he's going to have an epidural shot before the game, like Coach Kilmer from Varsity Blues, just stick it in his back, get out there and play.
Oh god.
Cowboys coming out and saying, well, he's damaged goods, and you're going to see that down the road and whatever the case would be. And even if that's the point, even if that happens, the fact of the matter is the Cowboys didn't get the haul that they could have gotten because why? They shot themselves in the foot, and they could have traded him early on. So Jerry can't win in this situation at all. Even if he is right, Jerry could not win. There was that one person right there. You just had one a few seconds ago saying, what if the Cowboys had gotten Jalen Carter and 3 first-round draft picks? Would you have taken that? Jalen Carter coming out of Georgia last year. You look at that, Joe, and I think to myself, why would you not want to get better? We don't know what the offer is from the Eagles, but if the Eagles had offered 2 firsts and 2/3, I mean, Joe, there's so many teams you have to get through in the NFC to get to the Super Bowl. It'd
be like the Spurs making a deal with the Houston Rockets. F that, bro.
It's a different thing.
Trade.
There are 22 starters on an NFL team. There's only 5 in the NBA, so I can see not wanting to trade in division or in conference. The Spurs.
That'd be like the Spurs trading Wemby and giving him to the Rockets for, a couple firsts, some players, whatever. It's like, no, man.
Well, we saw the Spurs refuse to trade to any Western Conference team when it came to Kawhi Leonard, right? They sent him out to Toronto, ends up getting a championship over there. So I do see that because one player can change the trajectory of an NBA team, especially if it's a top 10 player in the NBA. We saw that with Kawhi going to Toronto, leading them to a championship. But in the NFL, one star defensive player doesn't mean anything. How many games has Myles Garrett won? How many games has TJ Watt won? Playoff games.
Yeah.
How many games has all of these Khalil Mack and all of these big time defensive players over the last 5 years? They haven't won anything because why? They play on teams that are not complete. Do you want to have a team that has a strong defense? You add a Micah Parsons that makes it even better. I understand. But if you have if you're sending him to a team, because Green Bay's defense isn't that good. They weren't that good last year.
They're good enough to beat the Cowboys when it comes to wild card or playoff contention.
It's because they run up because the Cowboys' defensive line sucks. But so trading him to some other team doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be like world beaters because it takes 20. All you got to do is just run the different direction. Just go away from Micah and you take Micah out of the game. We've seen that before. But man, if we find out the Cowboys were offered multiple picks beyond the 2 first rounders, and the Eagles were there willing to do it, you would have done 2 things. You would have gotten a better haul, and you could have weakened the Eagles because you would have taken their draft capital.
They told me to leave the sunglasses on, dude.
I like it, Joe. I mean, I respect it. I have my sunglasses right here. I'll put mine on.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Well, do it just in the celebrate the start of the NFL season. That's going to be my new on-screen persona now. After Cowboy win or loss, Hollywood Joe's in the house with the shades.
So, Joe, you are a Cowboy fan. I am a Cowboy hater. My hatred for the Cowboys, though, used to be deep, Joe. I used to be awful, completely jackass about being my Cowboy hater. My favorite teams are the Saints and whoever plays the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Those are my 2 favorite teams. But that being said, after 25 years of watching the Cowboys not do crap, not even make it's one thing to say they haven't won the Super Bowl in 30 years because neither have the 49ers, for crying out loud. But the 49ers have been to NFC Championship games. They've been to Super Bowls. They just haven't gotten over the top. Cowboys haven't even gone to the NFC Championship game and are the only team in the NFC, if I'm not mistaken, in the 2000s to not reach the NFC Championship game. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you go through the list. The Rams have made it. The Seahawks have made it. The Falcons have made it. Even the Saints have made it. The Saints won in 2009. So you look at that, Joe. I have a hard time being that much of a Cowboy hater because I think it's overkill. I think at some point, I want the Cowboys to lose tonight. I'm gonna laugh if they do, but I don't have that
the hater gene.
No, the hater gene's there. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse a little bit. I kind of feel like it's it's beating up a little kid at this point. It's it's not a fair fight. NFL knows that the Cowboys are not going to win with an 83-year-old general manager who's a narcissist who should never have been a GM in the first place. We all know what's going on. We know that it's a circus. We know that Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning. We know
Jerry says F your feelings, buy the merch. He's going to sell the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what's funny, Mike? When you're talking about Cowboys and them not being relevant for the last 30-something years already.
Yeah.
Not sniffing, a championship berth or even Super Bowl. Here's the thing, man. I saw this somewhere. I think it was on social media, and they said the Cowboys have never been to the Super Bowl, or haven't even had been to the championship as long as flat screen TVs have been in existence.
Oh, I saw that. Chica sent me that yesterday. She sent me that meme.
Oh God, dude!
She sent me that meme. Yeah, that's funny. That the Cowboys, talk about VHS and whatnot. I mean, 1996, Joe. I'm 48 years old, man. I was 19. No, I was 18 when the Cowboys last won a Super Bowl, and I think back about where I was at that time in my life and how I've grown up. I saw this comment that said that Jalen Hurts' parents met each other, got married, had Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts then went to elementary school, middle school, high school, went to college, got drafted to the NFL, won a Super Bowl, all in the time that the Cowboys have not been to the Super Bowl. That is crazy, Joe. It's a generation. And I remember, Joe, growing up, we used to have these baseball fans who were really big into the Cubs because WGN, really big into the Red Sox, who the Red Sox went 86 years without winning a chip, a World Series. You saw the Cubs went, 70 some odd, 80, 90 years. The curse of the Bambino for the Sox, and for the Cubs, it was the GOAT or whatever. Curse of the GOAT or whatever that was called. And I don't want that to be for the Cowboys because the NFL is better when the Cowboys are relevant. Okay, when the Cowboys are relevant, no different than the NBA is better when the Lakers are relevant. The MLB is better when the Yankees are relevant or the Dodgers are relevant. It just makes it more theatrical because you have that foundation. NCAA football needs Notre Dame to be good because Notre Dame brings ratings and brings numbers. Notre Dame has fans, has haters. Who's the most hated college football team out there? It's not Bama. It's Notre Dame. Who's the most hated NBA team? It's the Lakers. Who's the most hated baseball team. It's the Yankees. The most haters have the most supporters as well, and all eyes are on that. But what I don't want from this year from the Cowboys is I don't want them to fall off into the deep end and go 2-15. I'm not that much of a hater, but I'm looking at the Cowboys right now and I'm thinking to myself, I mentioned this earlier this week. Tonight's game, as a former gambling degenerate, I look at today's game and I look at that spread. I think to myself, ain't no way the Eagles are going to run away with this game by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I don't see it. I don't
No.
see it. I think the Cowboys are going to keep it close. I think both teams are going to. I think it's going to be a low scoring game.
17-14.
I said 17-13. I think the Eagles are going to win 17-13. It's going to be a low scoring game. It's going to be about turnovers and it's going to be about missed field goals. That's what it's going to be about, Joe. It's also going to be about Dak Prescott and can Dak Prescott extend the play? Because, Joe, I think what we're going to look at when it comes to Dak, if he can be a little bit mobile, I know he's a little bit of time removed from that injury, that ankle injury. If he can show some wiggle room where he's not Kirk Cousins, where he's not, Sam Darnold, where he's not just sitting in the pocket, not being able to run away or squirt out of the pocket. If we see him mobile a little bit, Joe, that's reason for optimism for the Cowboys.
No, you don't even have to see him mobile. The only thing you have to see is Dak being able to be smart with the ball, when he's out there. You don't necessarily have to, get in a panic and, go ahead and just throw the ball just to get rid of it. Sometimes just take the loss of down, take that loss of yardage. It's okay to get sacked, bro. If it's going to avoid you throwing an interception and then you're giving up good field position to the opposing team, to the Eagles, and what? That's going to mean that they have a quick march down the field to go ahead and either score a touchdown or put up 3 points. It's like, no, man, it's okay to take a sack. The thing with Dak, though, is Dak hangs on to the ball way too long. You make a decision, look downfield. You don't see anybody open. You can't run. Take the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it, dude. It's no big deal. I mean, if you don't want to throw into double or triple coverage, that's a pick six, dude. Coming back the other way.
What you're saying is you want Dak to prove that he has veteran leadership.
He has veteran leadership, bro, because the thing is that it's like a domino effect. Dak is out there and everybody's looking at him because he's the leader of the team. Now, if he starts making these boneheaded plays, what happens? The domino effect. What? You go up there and, Cowboys offsides or holding. Something happened. Penalty, 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 penalty. And the penalties are really the Dallas Cowboys' Achilles heel when it comes down to it, because you can't have all these penalties against good marquee teams and then expect to win when you've dug yourself into a hole and then your own worst enemy out there on the field. The Cowboys keep on doing this type of nonsense every single season. It needs to stop, and it starts with accountability, and it starts with your quarterback setting the tone.
That's very true. I completely forgot about that, Joe. Penalties have been the Achilles heel of the Cowboys. And that right there, Joe, is about coaching and discipline. You're a direct reflection. Dan Quinn ain't coming through that door, right? Dan Quinn is not leading that defense anymore. Can they have the leadership that's there? Now, one thing that they don't have veteran leadership in is head coach. Brian Schottenheimer, first game as the NFL head coach. And people are giving me crap about saying that I'm looking like I'm wearing Gino Ortiz-Jones's clothing line. I'll get closer. These are martini glasses and bottles of gin.
Yeah.
So
I got my eyes dilated. That's it.
That's the pattern. That's the
I
design.
didn't get my eyes dilated. I'm back. I'm fine. No, Mike, it looks like you're wearing the clearance rack at Burlington, bro.
This is an expensive shirt. This is the shirt that I wear at casinos, baby. It has the bottles of bourbon and bottles of gin, the martini glasses. It's celebratory. It looks better in person. I will agree that it looks like crap on camera, but in person it looks a lot better. Chica likes
Gina. You're wearing Gina's brand.
No, this is not a Burlington Coat Factory original. No, not at all.
Yeah.
But Joe,
Jason wants to go ahead and share his picture with us on the media share. Our good friend Jason Garcia. He's saying that he's repping his Sea Chickens gear right now.
Sea chickens. What's going on, Jason? Cowboys tonight. One last thought, Joe, about this game. I want to see the kind of plays that are being called for the Cowboys. How if it's going to be conservative or if it's going to be going for the win. We saw this last week in the Texas game against Ohio State. I know it's college football. Trying to compare that to NFL might seem a little bit weird. But I knew the Longhorns weren't going to win when I saw how conservative the play calling was.
Yeah.
For Arch Manning. It was vanilla. They didn't utilize their backs. They didn't let him roll out. They didn't do anything. It was just so plain Jane that it almost seemed as though the Longhorns played not to lose as opposed to playing to win.
Does Manning know the playbook? I mean, what's going on, bro?
But the Cowboys are the same way when it comes to this, Joe.
Oh, with Dak.
If the play calling is so vanilla, if it is handoff up the middle, dink it to CD. If they're not trying to get the ball to George Pickens, who's their prize pickup over the offseason.
Yeah.
If they're not trying to go deep to him at least 4 times, then why have him on the team? They need to open up the offense and just basically trust the guys that are there. I know they have Javonte Williams as RB1, but you have 2 rookies behind him. Jadon Blue, you got Phil Mafah behind him. Trust them. Just trust them. Because if you go out there and say that you don't trust them and you're going to try to do, what's it called, 3 yards and a trail of dust, a cloud of dust, that's not going to win against this team. Because on paper, this team is better man-to-man than the Dallas Cowboys. So you have to open it up a little bit, Joe. You have to open up this game, open up the offense, sling the ball down the field. And you know what, Joe? If the Cowboys lose that way because they were trying to get the ball to George Pickens 40 yards down the field, 30 yards down the field, as a Cowboy fan, I think you should be okay with that.
You got to get creative with your play calling. Basically, I mean, you can't just go ahead and have like, okay, I'm going to have my guys, I'm going to have CD on one side, I'm going to have Pickens on the other side of the line. Just have them run a straight route, a no-nonsense route, have them both on the opposite end of the field, and then be like, okay, we'll see who's open. You got to get creative with it. You have 2 wide receivers. Run something creative. Have them line up on both line up on the same side of the field. Get creative with that. Have them cross the routes. Do something. Go ahead and, be the magician with the ball in your hand.
Yeah.
Do some magic out there, dude. I mean, you got to get creative with it. You can't just be doing the same vanilla stuff over and over and over again. But the one thing that will open the Cowboys offense more than anything is them establishing some type of a run game early on. If they can establish some type of a running game, that'll help because then they don't become a one-dimensional team. If it's just Pickens and CD, you don't think they're just going to sag off, play man-to-man, and just be back there in the backfield all day long? They're going to dare the Cowboys to run the ball, and the Cowboys aren't going to be effective?
Right.
So the Eagles are going to be able to stop the run, and then what happens? The Cowboys are going to have short yardage gains. It's going to be a long game. And then they're going to have to settle for field goals. That's not going to win you the game.
We'll see how Kenny Clark performs for the Cowboys. They got him as part of the trade for Micah Parsons. You're going up against Saquon Barkley. What do the Cowboys struggle at? Stopping the run. You see that when the Packers ran all up and down them, they really didn't address it too much. They did get Kenny Clark, a defensive tackle who has made multiple Pro Bowls, but is in the 30-year-old range, right, Joe? If the Cowboys can somehow have a rush defense, because if the game starts off, Joe, and Saquon's running for 25 yards, 15 yards, 12 yards, and he's just moving the chains on his own, it's going to be a long, long night.
You got to put the fear of God in him, man. You got to lay a hit on that son of a bitch that's going to make him think twice. I want to take that hit again. You got to come out there and you got to just knock the living hell out of people, man. Mm-hmm. You got to hit hard. Make it count.
It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
So are we watching this on Peacock or NBC, or is it all the same?
It's going to be the same, dude. It's going to be on the Peacock network. So that's going to be a primetime game.
But you can watch it on regular NBC, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
I don't have to get Peacock to watch it because I don't want Peacock. I had Peacock
No, they
before.
say NBC/Peacock Network. It'll be available for you streaming if you have the Peacock, you know, streaming service. You can be able to watch it there. But if you want to watch it over the air, it's going to be available for you on NBC Channel 4, local here in San Antonio.
Over under is 48.5 points, which basically means that based on the spread and the over under, the Vegas believes that the Eagles are going to win 28-20. We think it's going to be closer to that 17-14, 17-13. I'm taking the under in this game. Dallas money line is plus 340. Joe, you put $100 that they're going to win. You profit 340, get your $100 back.
Yeah.
It's good odds. Here's the thing about the NFL. For those of you who gamble, the underdogs perform very, very well week one because the best teams, the good teams, have a little rust on them, Joe. That's simply put, right? So look at these underdogs for this week. Tell me which underdogs you think have the ability to come off and make a surprise, Joe.
Okay.
Right off the bat, the game tomorrow night, Chargers against the Chiefs on a neutral site in a neutral country, if that's in Brazil, right?
And in San Paulo, Brazil. That's
Sao
how they get
Paulo.
around that, Mike. You know, they can't have games on Friday night because it's high school football. But if you're out of the country, it don't matter.
Would you be surprised if the Chargers went out there and won that game?
I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers won. But the thing with the Chargers is that the Chargers always seem to wet the bed. You know, they
Right.
can have the lead and they just somehow just garner it away. You know, so it's to be seen. An upset in the making, certainly, but will it happen? Probably not.
Now, Justin Herbert apparently has himself a new girlfriend. Have you heard the corollary between all this?
No.
So Justin Herbert, he can throw for 5,000 yards in a year, right? He's now dating pop star Madison Beer. And there's the belief that once you start dating a pop star of that caliber, that you do well. It's a thing, right? They point back to Josh Allen having his best season after he started dating Haley Steinfeld, right? And he just recently got married to her. So they're saying that he's going to take that leap this year because Madison Beer is his girl. But I'm looking at these games for this week. Falcons at Bucks. The Bucks are favored even though they're playing in Atlanta. Would you be surprised if Atlanta won? I wouldn't. Browns and Bengals.
Yeah.
Browns and Bengals. Bengals favored by 5.5 on the road. That's the only and it's not a Joe Burrow LSU thing, but it is a Joe Burrow thing. I don't see how the Browns are going to stop him. I don't think how the Browns are going to put up points. How the hell is it over under 47.5 points?
Here's the thing with the Browns, man. They have a good defense.
They do.
They have
They
a
have
good
no
defense.
offense.
They have no offense. But now who's their QB?
Same as last year. They got Flacco.
They got Flacco. They looked better with Flacco. I'd have to say that the Browns have a fighting chance. That's going to be an interesting game to me. You know, as far as quarterbacks are concerned, of course Burrow's the better quarterback.
Right.
Flacco's at the end of his career, man, but Flacco is a savvy veteran. You know, if he can go ahead and keep this team even keel and keep it interesting down the stretch, maybe that veteran leadership comes through in the crunch time, you know, and they wind up inking out a win, doing just enough to get the win and on a last minute heroics with a field goal and time is ended.
Right.
You know,
Joe, what I'd like to do with you, Joe, is since we have time, let's pick against the spread, and let's keep track of this so that maybe we can say maybe you're better against the spread than I am. Maybe I'm better than you against the spread. We shall see. But I'm gonna start keeping a track on this, right? So we'll do two ways. We'll do straight up versus spread, right? So we have Cowboys and Eagles. Who do you have winning the game straight up, and who do you have doing the spread? Spread's 8.5 points.
8.5. That seems a little high to me. I think the game's going to be closer than advertised. To me, they're not going to be able to cover the spread. I still think the Eagles are going to win against the Cowboys, but I have it 17-14 Eagles over the Cowboys. I think a last-minute field goal is going to win the game for the Eagles.
Okay, so Chargers and Chiefs. Who do you got winning that game? Who do you have covering the spread? Spread's 3.5 in favor of the Chiefs.
Oh man, this one I got to give it to the Chiefs, man. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to cover the spread, and they're going to best the Chargers.
I have this the same going over as well, right? So let's see here: Bucks and Falcons. Bucks favored by 1.5. So basically, who do you think is going to win?
This one, man, I don't trust no Falcons, dude. And the Buccaneers, I think, are going to be the better team. I think the Buccaneers are going to wind up beating the Falcons by at least 7 points.
I think the opposite. I think Bijan Robinson's going to have a breakout year more than what he's had before. I think Drake London and all the position players that they have over there are a lot better than before. It is on the road. Atlanta is a hard place to win and play at. I'll take that. I'll take the Bengals over the Browns, both spread and money line. What do you got?
Money line, I don't know, man. On this one, I think the Browns are going to be able to best the Bengals. So I got the Browns over the Bengals by at least 3.5.
Okay, but are they going to cover 5.5?
I don't know. They'll cover 5.5. I think it'll get real close. So I'd have to say, you know what? I'd say they'd be able to cover the 5.5.
We have the Dolphins at the Colts. The Colts with a new quarterback. Miami favored by 1.5. Miami kind of, the inconsistent team. You never know, man. Miami beats good teams and loses to bad teams, but they're on the road. Miami favored by 1.5.
I'd take that. I can see the Dolphins besting the Colts. 1.5. Sure, why not?
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take the opposite, Joe. I'm going to say Colts. Colts are going to win and cover. So I'm jotting this down. We'll keep track of this, and on Monday or Tuesday we'll reveal what we did so far. Raiders at Patriots. Ashton Genty, the star running back for Boise State, now playing for the Oakland Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders, rather. Going into Foxborough, taking on the Patriots. Patriots favored by 2.5 points. I'm going to take the Patriots both covering and winning.
Okay. I'm going to take the Patriots covering and winning as well. I think the Patriots are going to wind up beating the Raiders.
Cardinals at Saints.
God, bro. Talk about a stinker, man.
Cardinals favored by 6.5 points. You could have Spencer Rattler starting for the New Orleans Saints. You have Chris Olave, the star wide receiver for the wide receiver one for the Saints. 3 concussions already in his career.
Jeez, bro.
So I'm going to take the Cardinals both winning and cover. I think the Saints are rolling over this season.
Oh, no doubt, bro. The Saints ain't gonna. They have no business winning a single game this season. They're gonna tank, and they're gonna tank hard. I got the Cardinals on over the Saints all day, every day, bro.
Steelers are 2.5 point favorites. Aaron Rodgers returning back to New York to take on the Jets. Gonna be honest with you, Joe. I think the Jets are a little bit frisky. I'm gonna take the Jets winning and covering.
I'd have to agree with you. I think the Jets are gonna win, and they're gonna best the Steelers, just to get a little bit of revenge there. So I got the Jets over the Steelers. This could be the Jets Super Bowl right here, man. This is the season for them,
Giants at Commanders. Commanders are by 6.5. Give me the Commanders winning and covering.
I got a feeling about this game. I saw this one, and I'm like, you know what? This is where the degenerate side of me comes out. I'm calling an upset. I think the Giants are going to go ahead and beat the Commanders. I'd say you give me a spread of at least 5.5. I think they'd be able to cover.
Panthers at Jaguars. Jaguars favored by 3.5 points. Home game, noon on Fox. Joe, I'm really high on Panthers this year. I think the Panthers are going to win this game. And Joe, Trevor Lawrence, Joe, is the biggest NFL fraud of all time, Joe.
But he's got the long flowing locks, Mike.
Johnny Manziel is, right? But I look at that guy, and when he came out of Clemson, we all thought he was going to take the NFL by storm. That guy is just a dude, man. I think Carolina, Chuba Hubbard, is going to get the bulk of the carries this year. I like Carolina to not only cover but also win outright.
Oh man, who's going to be the better the better kitten. Is it going to be the
Yeah.
Jags or the Panthers? Man, I'd say the Panthers, man. I
On
think they
both,
cover the spread
cover the spread and both, and win the game.
and win the game. Yeah.
Got a few more games to go, Joe. And I like the fact that we're keeping records. It's kind of like point of record when it comes to all this. Titans going against the Broncos. It's gonna be the first 3 o'clock game.
That'll
Denver
be a
coming
good one.
in. Denver coming in as 8.5 point favorites. You have Cam Ward, formerly of UIW, Heisman Trophy winner, went to Miami, starting quarterback for the Titans, going up against Sean Payton's team. That's a huge spread. It equals what the Cowboys Eagles is. First time quarterback Cam Ward. I mean, he was great in college. Is he ready for the big time right now?
The bright lights.
At Mile High, where it's hard to breathe.
It's hard to win there too, man.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Broncos. Oh man, I think that I think the Broncos might actually have a run this year in them. I'm gonna
think
say
so too,
Broncos.
Mike.
I think the Broncos win and cover that 8.5 point spread.
That's what I was gonna say too. I'm right with you, man. Broncos are gonna be able to cover the 8.5 and get the win against the Titans.
Niners on the road against the Seahawks. Niners here by 2.5. I'll take the upset. I'll take the Seahawks winning and obviously covering because of that.
Yeah, the 49ers aren't the same team they used to be. The Seahawks are going to get the win and they're going to cover the spread.
Dude, is it possible that the Niners are going to just drop pants again and lose like 11 games again?
I think so, man. This team, it's not the same anymore, dude.
And isn't that sad? I mean,
Kittles can't be wearing that shirt underneath his jersey that says F the Cowboys anymore.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
That ain't happening.
So taking my notes here, the notes of record on this one. Lions at Packers. Packers favored by 1.5 points. Wow, that's a great game.
That is a good one.
3:25 kickoff. Lions at Packers. I'll let you go first on this one.
Lions at Packers.
Basically, who you think is going to win? It's a 1.5 favorite.
Yeah, I'd have to go with the Packers on this one, bro. I think the Packers are going to be able to go ahead and cover the spread, 1.5 against the Lions.
I'm going to take the Lions. Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta. If they're on one offensive side of the team, I'm going to take them. This is a big game, Joe. This might be a big difference maker towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that the Lions somehow come out of it.
If Michael plays in that game, you don't think that's going to be a difference maker?
Right. That's true. That's true. Texans, Rams. Mark Stafford going to be quarterback. He missed most of the preseason with an injury. They say he's ready to go for week 1. You have the Rams here by 3.5 points. I think the Texans pull off the upset.
I think the Texans blow up. We're going to go ahead and pull up the upset, beat the Whams, because their fans are always crying about something. I think the Texans are going to be able to beat them by more than 3.5. I think the Texans will go ahead and be able to cover at least 5.5.
Interesting one here on Sunday night. Ravens at Bills. Bills, the home team, but the spread's only 1.5. Sorry, I'll take the Bills Mafia on this one. I mean, I know Lamar Jackson is a regular season god, and he just wets the bed in the playoffs. I'll take the Bills. Josh Allen. Ravens are going to go 0-1 to start the season.
What's their spread?
1.5.
Oh man, I take Bills over Ravens, but I think they're going to win by more than 1.5. I think it's going to be at least 3.5 or more.
Yeah. And then the last game, the Monday night game. We have the Vikings taking on the Bears. The Bears with a new look offense. The both of them with immature or young quarterbacks. JJ McCarthy going up against Caleb Williams. Vikings against the Bears. There's a possibility of an injury to Justin Jefferson with the Minnesota Vikings. They say that he's ready to go. He will play week 1, but he has a hamstring issue that held him out of games last year.
This one smells like an upset.
Well, let's take the Bears.
Taking the Bears to beat the Vikings too, Mike. I think they're going to be able to cover the spread.
So I'm looking at it, Joe. You and I agreed on all the games except for 6. That's not bad. I'm going to print this out, Joe. Look at this. You know that
Spreadsheet.
you know that it's important when I start printing the things out, going to my work computer.
And look at Mario Cavasso says, who will have a better season, CJ Stroud or Jaden Daniels? CJ Stroud, most definitely.
No way. Jaden Daniels is going to the Super Bowl.
No, bro. Come on.
The Commanders are my pick to go to the Super Bowl this year.
I'm saying CJ Stroud's going to have a better season.
Yeah, Jonathan C. coming out and saying Bills money line 1.5 is generous. They will roll the Ravens. I mean, that's like I look at that spread. I think there's two spreads that I look at, Joe, and I think to myself, what's going on here? Bengals 5-point favorites over the like my two locks are Buffalo's going to win that game, and the Bengals are going to trounce the Browns. Those are my locks of the week.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, man. Bills are going to be able to go ahead and best the Ravens. I could see that. Upset, Bears, Vikings. Another, one of the other games that I was looking at, like I said, upset to me, Giants over Commanders. I think that's going to be a thing. I'm looking at another one. Buccaneers, Falcons. Like I said, Buccaneers over the Falcons. In my eyes, I don't think the Falcons will be able to win. But the interesting one to me still, Texans over the Rams. If the Texans can get going, this could be a blowout.
It could be. It very much could be. I think the Texans have the firepower to make it a blowout. Now, there's no Joe Mixon in the backfield. You have Nick Chubb coming in. Nick Chubb, who's had back-to-back bad seasons as running back, but they have Dameon Pierce. They have other backs in the backfield that could take over if Chubb can't get it going. Chubb 3 years ago was one of the best running backs in the entire NFL, but injury just has to slow him down the rest of the way.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's back. I mean, because he's removed from that injury, it's time for him to get going. Joe, we'll talk about Kawhi Leonard on the other side because more details have come out about that. But before we do that, let's give some love to PF Chang's La Cantera. They power our chat. They're proud sponsors. And by the way, when we come back on the other side, a little bit of a special announcement about UTSA tailgating and where you can find me and Joe.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast. I wanted to get into this with you too, Mike, before we kind of move on here. NFL Power Rankings. This is courtesy of Fox. Look at what they have already. 2025 NFL Power Rankings. At number
they have
one.
The Super Bowl champions, Eagles at number one.
And rightfully so, right? They're going to be number one. And look at who's number two on the list there. The Ravens?
Well, I mean, the Ravens are excellent when it comes to the regular season. The problem they have is they play as though they're in a dome. Lamar Jackson running around like crazy for 1,000 yards. They have Derrick Henry coming in there for 1,500 yards. They do exceptionally well in the months of September, October, November. The second it gets cold, Joe, and you can't run the ball anymore,
They done.
If they played in a dome, they would win each and every year to Lamar Jackson. But they play for the outdoors. They play for the indoors rather though they have an outdoor field. It's just strange. Cowboys at 22, bizarre. Look who they have at 32. Who dat at 32, Joe? Who dat at 32? That's exciting.
You know what's funny to me too? Look at the Cowboys, man. They have them at number 22. Broncos, they have them at 14. Let's see where they have your Carolina Panthers at. Carolina Panthers are at number 28.
Yeah.
And the Browns are at 31. I mean, the Saints dead last, dude. 32. That's no surprise, man. That's no surprise.
Well, I mean, who are they going to have as their quarterback? I mean, Spencer Rattler, who was a really highly rated quarterback coming out of college and bounced around in college football. Can he actually be the guy? And the question that's the main question. And I don't see it, Joe. I mean, I would love for it to happen and have a great story. Because who would have thought that Tony Romo was going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? The guy came out of nowhere, was a third stringer, came up and became a starter for many years for the Cowboys and had a successful run. Didn't win the Super Bowl, but had a successful run. Spencer Rattler, you watch him play, and sometimes you see a play out of him, and you're like, man, there's something there.
Saw flash.
And then no more, man. It just goes away as quickly as it arrives. It goes away. And then they have that rookie quarterback this year who they got in the second round, who they never should have gotten. Bad draft all around. But I'm looking at the Saints season. Just tank for a quarterback, and no, not tank for Arch. Arch Manning is not going into the NFL next season. He's not ready. He couldn't beat Ohio State. He's not ready. Not ready.
The Saints ain't gonna sniff a win, dude. They want to tank, and they want to tank hard. I think they'll do enough just sometimes to keep things interesting, but then they're just gonna fall off.
Well, what's funny is that people think that it's gonna be like a flex on me, like they're gonna come at me and say, "Oh, your Saints lost again." Ha ha ha. I want them to lose.
You want a high pick? Not only you, but Leha too. He's a Saints fan. And he's like, I hope they don't win a damn game this season.
Not a damn game. Look at everybody on the right side of that power rankings, Joe.
Yeah.
25 through 32. You can argue that the best quarterback, 25 through 32, is Tua. Look at the far left, 1 through 8. Hurts, Super Bowl champion. Lamar Jackson, MVP. Patrick Mahomes, MVP and Super Bowl champion. Jordan Love, good player. You have Josh Allen. You have Joe Burrow. You have Jaden Daniels.
But at number 6, the Steelers, bro. Come on,
man. I don't buy it either. The left-hand side shows that you have elite quarterback play. The right side shows you have awful quarterback play. To win in the NFL, you need a good quarterback. You need a very, very good quarterback. And look at 9 through 16. These are just quarterbacks, man.
Yeah,
CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Matt Stafford. This is And then look at 17 through 24. This is a great graphic, Joe.
The middle of the pack.
Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence,
Prescott.
Prescott. I mean, this just shows everything. So when Cowboy fans are out there trying to get on me because they're like, well, you're making fun of our team. Your team is going to lose. You guys are going to win only 2 games. Joe, we need a very, very good quarterback. And the only way that you get a good quarterback is at the top of the draft. Because, again, Jalen Hurts was a first-round draft pick. Lamar Jackson was was the end of the first round. Patrick Mahomes was a first-round draft pick. Jordan Love was a first-round draft pick. Joe Burrow was the number 1 overall pick. Jaden Daniels was the number 1 overall pick, or number two rather. Aaron Rodgers was a first-rounder. Josh Allen was a first-rounder. You need to get it in the first round, Joe.
Did you hear that story about Aaron Rodgers, dude? This brother is just straight up weird. He does not like to wear Bluetooth speakers, right? Wireless headphones, because he says it messes with your brain.
Yeah, it sounds like the guy who's running the CDC right now.
But this brother ain't afraid to do ayahuasca. I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, Joe, I'm looking right now at a message I received from Alex Noriega. He's one of our followers. I've known Alex for 30 years. Great
him and his wife are good people, man.
Alamo City podcast listeners, you now have an official landing spot for the UTSA Roadrunner tailgate this weekend.
Nice.
Come check out in lot B3, like boy 3, B3, under the Lone Star canopy, beginning at 10:30. The Lone Star canopy. Come by. I'll be there.
Fireball will be flowing.
Chica will be there. Alex will be there. I'm sure Sean will be there.
You got your tickets to go to the game. Are you going to make it inside the venue?
I got tickets a few weeks ago. In fact, there are reports out there right now by UTSA insiders saying that UTSA expects this to be the most attended game in UTSA history, taking on Texas State. They're thinking the over-under, Joe.
Yeah.
Maybe not the over-under. The minimum attendance, Joe, of 41,000.
It's a lot of people there, man.
That's a lot of people, Joe.
How much is the
That's a lot
parking
to
going to
look at.
be? That's the biggest question. People that
Holy
went to see the
crap.
weekend were paying $63, $65.
Joe, I
And
paid
they were
$60
complaining.
one time. I paid $60 one time to go park a
They're
UTSA
like,
game.
shame on you, Alamo Dome, for charging that much money. Well, you know what? This is the thing that's going to be happening now. If it's a big venue and it's going to draw a lot of people, they're going to charge $60. And if you know what, like Mike says, if you can't afford to pay the $60, do what, Mike?
Go make more money.
No, either that or go ahead and take the parking ride, bro. I think that's really what they want the people to do.
Take the parking
They
ride.
want 'em take the parking ride.
And the real Bobby earlier today, I can't read the whole list here, but at 10:02 says, like Mike says, I wake up with a hard one. I said yesterday.
You said it, dude.
I said I wake up every morning with two things: a hard on and a desire to make money. I wake up every morning with that, Joe.
Yeah, look at Jonathan C. Take the parking ride. That's what I'm saying, dude. Instead of like complaining about spending the $60 for the stupid parking there, and you're gonna be stuck there for a while anyway, trying to get out, just take the parking ride, man.
Joe, remember the Via puppets in the commercial? It's so
Via?
easy when you take the bus. Via.
Yeah.
I used to love those puppets, Joe.
And look at Necio drummer Matt Gomez. He says it too. Park in the city garage, $15, no llores. There you go, dude. You could just walk it there.
Or you could just Uber. I mean, just Uber. Just get dropped off in the front.
Look at that. Bus drivers don't even care if you paid the $1.25. They just say, get on, bro.
You know, you give them Dave and Buster's tokens or something like that.
They're like, just get on, dude. I don't even care no more.
Let's talk about Kawhi Leonard, Joe. I have two questions about this because somebody brought up the fact this was so fresh, and yesterday I jumped on the podcast late, so I really didn't have the full grasp of the gravity of what happened with the allegations that Pablo Torre, formerly of ESPN, but now has his podcast. He's a journalist. Pablo Torre is a real journalist, and I think that the sad thing is that they got turned into caricatures by the Dan Le Batard show. Dan Le Batard show brought on Mina Kimes and brought on Pablo Torre and gave them a platform and put eyes on them, but also kind of joked around with them a little bit to kind of, they joked with them. Kind of like no different than our good friend Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. Yeah. So he's a subscriber. He watches our show, takes pot shots at me. It brings attention to me, and it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Pablo Torre and Mina Kimes are actual journalists. Like the economists. They're super smart people. They're not talking heads. They're actual journalists out there who can do investigative stuff. And Pablo Torre went out there and public record. This was all public record. Goes out and connects the dots to the fact that the Clippers allegedly circumvented the salary cap by having money funneled to an LLC that Kawhi Leonard owns to pay him $28 million, $7 million a year to skirt around the rules, right? And this was brought up the fact that this has happened in the past before, but in a different way, but still skirting around the rules to give payment, right? The last time that happened, the owner was suspended for a year, the coach was suspended for a year, and on top of that, the team lost, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves, Joe Smith. They lost 5 first-round draft picks, Joe.
Yeah.
For the NBA, for the NBA to say that they investigated this and found nothing, but Pablo Torre to find it, either tells me one of two things: either Pablo Torre is one hell of a journalist who is better than everybody else, or the NBA didn't really look that deep into it.
Yeah, probably didn't look that deep into it. But there was a statement released by the Clippers themselves. And look at what it says, Mike.
Yeah, denying the allegations, saying that we did nothing wrong. This is all a bunch of do about nothing. Now, against Steve Ballmer, who's the sixth richest man in the world, former founder of Microsoft, one of the founders of Microsoft, apparently funded a company to then hire Kawhi Leonard as a spokesperson. But that person, that deal said that Kawhi Leonard, didn't have to do anything. They called it a no-show contract. Didn't have to do commercials, didn't have to do social media, didn't have to do events, just got paid for merely existing. And oh, by the way, if he doesn't play for the Clippers anymore, that $7 million sponsorship is no more.
It was 28. He was owed $28 million, $7 million of which he still hasn't been paid.
Yeah. So what is the punishment for Kawhi Leonard? Could they, in fact, say, Kawhi Leonard, you're suspended for a year? And if that happens, Joe, what does that do for the chances of him making the NBA Hall of Fame, the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame?
He'll probably still make the Hall of Fame.
Well, Joe, look at baseball, Joe. Baseball is yet to include Barry Bonds. It's yet to include Mark McGwire and Roger Clemens. Baseball Writers Association look at that and go,
or Andy Pettitte. What happened with Andy Pettitte?
Right. So if Kawhi Leonard is labeled as a cheater, because that's essentially what this is, Joe. I mean, you can say that it's a bribe, you can say that it's skirting the rules, whatever. It's just cheating. However you want to slice it, it's cheating. They got caught. No different than the Astros got caught. You can say, well, other teams are doing it. Well, no one's been caught doing it. The Timberwolves were caught 25 years ago.
Yeah. Or what about the cheating scandal? Red Sox, Houston Astros.
Yeah.
Banging of the infamous banging on the trash cans. You know what? Every team cheats to a certain extent, right? The only thing that makes it a big deal is when they get caught. Now, you got to ask yourself, how many NBA teams out there are doing the exact same thing, but just haven't been caught? This is something that's been ongoing for quite some time.
I don't know, Joe, because if you're saying that, Joe, then you're saying that the Holtz do it. You're saying that the Genie
everyone is going to do this to a certain extent. Maybe it's going to be funding of a, I don't know, another venture somewhere to kind of hide the money, but it's out there. You don't think
how many do you think, Joe? Because here's the thing, Joe. I don't think that I don't think that there are other teams doing it. And maybe that's me being naive, Joe.
I think that's you being naive. If you're going to want to keep your superstars and you're going to want to keep them happy, you're going to have find creative solutions to making them happy. And what makes them happy? Money. So you're going to put on paper, for the league and whatnot, this is how much said player is going to get paid. But you can also, hey, man, sweeten the deal. I'm going to give you, behind the scenes, we're going to hide some feria away, like 32 mil or whatever, and we'll give it to you on the side. You're going to get paid to basically make an appearance or whatnot, and here you go. I mean, this happens, dude. It's going to happen. Do you mean you can't gift them cars? You can't gift them certain, lavish, vacations or something? I mean, come on, Mike. It's happening.
Joe, I don't think it is, Joe. And the reason why I say that I don't think it is because there's a paper trail and there's too much at stake and at risk. You can be forced to sell your franchise. Donald Sterling, who owned the Clippers before this dude came in from Microsoft.
He was saying stupid stuff, though.
But what happened, Joe? You see, people think that the Holt family owns the team. They don't own the team. They're a franchise, Joe. They don't own the Spurs. They're a franchise owner of the NBA. No different than McDonald's being a franchise of Home Office. Home Office doesn't like you. Guess what? They kill your franchise. And because of that, I don't think other teams are doing this because they know that franchise, that billion-dollar entity, could be taken away. And you could be forced to sell. Donald Sterling, he did racial remarks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Caught on tape. Not even doing it publicly. Caught on tape doing it. Was forced to sell his team. I don't know, man. I think there's way too much money at stake for people to gamble that. For why? So they can have a 1 in 32 chance of now, what if he had done said work with that team, with that
Organization.
organization?
Yeah.
What if he had done the commercials? Because this is a pay to play type of thing. With what he did nothing. How,
And he still got paid.
and he still got paid. So it's not a sponsorship, Joe. If you do nothing, it doesn't matter if it's a small sponsorship. It doesn't matter if it's PF Chang's La Cantera. If we don't play the commercial, we don't talk about PF Chang's. Guess what? They're not really a sponsor because we're not treating them as a sponsor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They're giving us money basically to just do nothing. That doesn't work that way, you know?
Mario Cavasso says San Antonio Spurs are also doing this, but they're paying Wemby with carne guisada and bean and cheese tacos.
Yeah, Wemby. Ah, man, we'll see what kind of season Wemby has. Hopefully, it's a good one for him
Yeah.
and the Spurs. But I think this thing is going on. I think it's rampant. I think you're going to find out that more and more teams have been engaging in this type of behavior. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of the teams in the NBA are doing it, but I bet you there's some they're gonna do things like this to kind of sweeten the deal, you know, to keep their superstars happy.
Mm-hmm. But Joe, I mean,
Look at it like this. Are you surprised that this is happening with Kawhi? Kawhi got corrupted by who? Having the wrong people in his court,
well, see,
namely Uncle Dennis.
well, see that's right there, right? Because Uncle Dennis asked the Lakers and Jeannie Buss for ownership of the team to sign, which is against rules.
Yep.
I think this is an Uncle Dennis thing. I don't think it's a prevalent thing in the NBA where Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic are all getting paid.
Yeah, it originally started as an Uncle Dennis thing, right? And Uncle Dennis whispered in the ear of Kawhi, and this is where he got corrupted. First NBA All-Star game, right? First
Right.
NBA All-Star appearance. Kawhi's out there, and he's sitting in a car. He's waiting there in the traffic like everybody else. And what happens? He looks over and sees the other NBA players getting dropped off over there at the arena in limousines. And he's over here in a taxi or something. And he said, why can't that be me? You know, that's where Uncle Dennis said that. And that's where the seeds were planted. And then he finally comes back to San Antonio. And that's when, all of a sudden, all these other things start happening behind the scenes. You start hearing little ripples here and there.
Well,
Has
Joe,
an injury now.
Joe,
I mean, this is Uncle Dennis at his finest.
I'm going to fight back on that a little bit, Joe. Isn't Kawhi Leonard a grown-ass man?
He is.
So if you're going to say that it's because he's a puppet to Uncle Dennis, Kawhi Leonard is
I'm
a
not
grown
saying
ass
that he
man.
was a puppet.
Kawhi Leonard is a grown ass man who's 6'9", 6'7", 6'9", who is bigger than Uncle Dennis, who actually has the talent, is the one literally making the money. I understand that Uncle Dennis is asking for crap that he shouldn't be asking for, but at the end of the day, if he asked for this from Steve Ballmer and the Clippers and Kawhi took the money, it's not Uncle Dennis's fault.
I'm not blaming him. The thing that I'm blaming is he's setting the seeds of evil, right? And Kawhi said, maybe Kawhi didn't think about things that way until Uncle Dennis said, hey, man, why aren't you in a limo?
Hey,
man, and then Kawhi said, hey, you know what? You're right. Why am I not in a limo? And then Kawhi's like, you know what? I want this. I want that. And Uncle Dennis might be the puppet, but Uncle Dennis is going to go out there and, Uncle Dennis does two things. He's talking for Kawhi, right? But also, Uncle Dennis, you don't think he's living off of the, let's say, accolades that Kawhi is getting? He's going ahead and he's living off of that. So it benefits him to do these things.
But look what this does to the image of Kawhi Leonard, which was already kind of suspect because you would look at Kawhi Leonard and at the time was a top 5 player in the NBA when healthy. And then you have to ask yourself the question, is he really hurt?
No, absolutely not. He's getting paid to be a part-time NBA player. The league has known this, and they allow this type of behavior to continue. Like, why are you going to go ahead and pay a player an X amount of money for them not to show up to work? If they stop paying you money, Mike, because you didn't go to work, you'd go back to work. Got to pay those bills,
right?
But in the NBA and in the sports world, everything works different. You're paid an X amount of money, and you're gonna get paid whether you show up or not.
Jason Garcia reaches out to us in our chat, powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. Says Kawhi Leonard has a man's body but a boy's mind. See, I don't buy that unless you're telling me that Kawhi Leonard has a disability of some sort.
Chica's gonna ruin it for you and say he's special needs or something, you know.
Well, I mean, I've said this before. My former brother-in-law is very, 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 very good friends with Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Former Texas Longhorns legend.
Ricky was decimated by anxiety, man.
That is somebody who's diagnosed as having that. I met Ricky Williams at 19 years old. He was 19. I was 19. I was working at KSAT, and I'm interviewing him after a game or before a game at UT, and he had the visor on, and he was hiding from everybody. And I remember after he was like, it was weird, this whole weird thing, and people thought, oh, well, the guy's just a jackass. And then what ended up happening was after everyone dispersed, and I looked at him, and he took the visor off, and it was just me and him. He was nice. He was kind of like, oh, hey, how's it going?
He's fine, yeah. He just got nervous, dude. He would get really bad anxiety, you know?
Right. And then you look later on, years later, he befriends my former brother-in-law, and I get thrown into the mix, and I started having conversations with him. We had lunch one time at my brother-in-law's birthday party, and we all that stuff. And Ricky had a great time hanging out with the family. He had a great time talking to us, and it was comfortability. And I remember telling him, I said, "Man, Ricky, I remember interviewing you when you were 19 years old, man." And I said, "How you've overcome all that?" And he goes, "Well, anxiety, and I learned how to cope with it, and all that stuff." Kawhi Leonard, I don't think has that anxiety. I think Kawhi Leonard is just simply a dick. That's the thing, is that I just think that he's just a dick. And hand over fist is saying, Cap, what is the Cap that you're talking about there? That all of that didn't happen?
I think it's just because you're mentioning Ricky Williams. That's basically it.
Okay, well, I'll show you. You know what? You want to say Cap? Joe, go on to the Area 210. How the media share?
It comes through here in a little bit. Got to give it a couple seconds or so.
Go to the media share when you get a chance.
No, I'm looking at it right now. I got it pulled up. I'm just waiting for it to come through. Here it is.
People think that I like do tall tales like crazy.
There you go.
That's Ricky Williams with who? My daughter, Gabby Girl. Gabby Girl was probably 14 or 15 at the time.
I always like Gabby's smile, dude.
That's Ricky Williams there hanging out with the familia back in the day. He became really, really good friends with my former brother-in-law. He took my former brother-in-law to the Heisman Trophy award ceremony because those who are, who won the Heisman Trophy get to go back every year because they're the voters and they're the presenters, and it's kind of like all the champions go back over. But Ricky Williams got to meet Gabby Girl a couple of times. Very nice man.
Yeah.
So our Apache says he's got pictures like this. Fernandez. No, I got receipts. And in fact, when I talked to Ricky Williams over at Super Bowl Radio Row, he was like, "Hey man, how's your brother?" So it was all good, dude. It's all good. Ricky Williams is a good guy, but Kawhi Leonard, kind of a dick. Kawhi Leonard, I don't think has anxiety. I think he's a dick. Is that weird?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I think it's because of the behavior that he's presented, especially here with the Spurs and how he took off and he was hiding over in New York. And when the doctors tried to go and speak to him, and kind of look at him, he kind of bailed,
Sam Salinas asking the question, saying, what's it called? Is Gabby throwing up horns up there? Well, yes, because she hadn't attended LSU yet. Gabby's is 22 years old now. She's a graduate of LSU. Back then, she was
The
just in
horns
high school.
down.
She was maybe a freshman in high school when that all happened.
I tell everybody, man, don't play darts with Gabby, dude.
Dude, Gabby gets this thing in her eye where she just gets laser focused. Don't play darts with her. Don't play axe throwing with me. There's not one person who's a better axe thrower than me, and it's all fluke, Joe. I don't know how or why.
God. We got to put that to the test, man.
Joe, I was so damn good, Joe.
We got to put that to the test.
I could not hit the bullseye straight in the middle.
We're gonna have to have an axe off then. Me and you going at it, dude. We'll have Chica there with the video footage.
Yeah, Chica.
That'd be fun.
Joe, can I tell you what happened earlier today, Joe? Tell me what I need to do with this. So I got divorced, right?
Yeah.
And I've been paying child support for a year, right? And how I've been paying child support is I just do a balance transfer from my security service account to the ex's security service account. It's just transfer on over. No big whoop, right? Well, we were separated for 2 years, and I was paying child support because I knew I'd have to, and just be a straight up guy. Well, after the divorce got finalized, I just kept doing that. I just kept doing a balance transfer. I know how much I owe at the beginning of each month, right? But then I get a notification that she has signed up with the Attorney General's office for it to be handled by the AG's office. No. And I asked her the question, like, what the hell's going on? I'm not behind, right? So why are you doing this? And she goes, well, I just want there to be a public record, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I get a AG's case number, and you're supposed to put up you're supposed to like set this up and all that stuff. So I go on there, I create an ID and all that stuff, and guess what happens, Joe? Yeah. Nothing happens. I can't link my checking account to it. So now it's the 4th of September. She's waiting for her child support. It's the 4th of September. I should have paid her on the 1st. And I told her, I said, look, I was normally balance transferring this, but now you're making me deal with the state. So now you have to wait on the state. So I call again. I've been calling all week long. I called. 50 minutes goes by, Joe. I called when they opened. 50 minutes go by. They answer the phone. Oh, your social security number does not match what's on here. We'll make the corrections. All right. Okay, cool, whatever. Stand by. We're going to put you on hold. 50 minutes on the phone with him, Joe. We're going to put you on hold. And they're like, we're gonna transfer you to this other department. They're going to take care of it. Then we'll be able to take payment. Guess what happens, Joe? Somebody answers the phone on the other side going, hello, I can't hear you. I can't hear. And I'm screaming to the phone, hello, hello, hello. So, Joe, what do I do, Joe? What do I tell the ex? I tell her, hey, you want to go to the state. You got to wait for me to get through. Because I'm not going to call them again today, Joe. I'm not going to call them and wait an hour on the phone for it all.
You're going to get charged a fee.
That's what she gets for going to the joke. Go. Our Apache says Attorney General office is the devil. I looked at it, Joe. How much child support I'm going to pay?
It's a lot.
And I calculated it over the course of the next X number of years. Would have paid $120,000 in child support.
Damn, that's a lot, dude. And look at this. This is a picture that Tony Ornelas sent us in the media share. He wanted us to show it on screen. He says, "Look at Mike's face."
As I'm wearing the G Northeast Jones, it looks better in person. I hate to say it. G Northeast Jones's clothes look awful in person and on screen. But man,
too late for the pay or go to jail, my friend. Oh. You know what? And if you give her the money just outright, I mean, there's probably still going to want to bill you, you know?
Yeah, there's a thing that goes on where, there would have to be a signed form that says that you're current, that alternative methods were used. But that's why what I've been doing is I was doing balance transfers, but there's nothing in it that says what the balance transfer is for. So I've been using Cash App because I'm like, hey, well, I can Cash App you. And I put the notation there. This is my child support for the month.
Yeah.
It's brutal, dude. Brutal.
Or just say Rudy G3 saying, pay it one time like Anthony Edwards.
If I get a big enough of a commission check, I might.
Be like, you know what? Boom. Here you go. I'm done.
If you want to help me with those commissions, reach out to me. Here's my cell phone number, 210-508-0369. Help out my 1099s. Get me out of child support debt. 210-508-0369. I do retirement planning. I do life insurance, long-term care, disability. If you have questions about auto insurance or homeowners insurance, give me a call. 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. If you have money with another financial advisor and like, hey, well, what would Michael do with this instead? Give me a call. I'll let you know what I would have done as an alternative option there. 210-508-0369. We do have a super chat coming in.
You know what's been funny, dude, is that you actually get clientele from doing the show.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I think over the past 12 months, I've gotten 6 clients, and they've been good clients from this show. And that's funny because we see the names on here. We see Sam Salinas, Tex-Mex Frank, Apache, Rudy, Real Bobby, Tony Nales, Mario Cavazos. For every one of you that's on our thread here on the chat powered by PF Chang's La Cantera, there's probably about 30 of you all who are not commenting.
Yeah,
right? So think about that.
Watch.
Some people just watch. And guess what they do? They see that number 210-508-0369 and they actually call me and they actually text me or they reach out to me one way or the other and say they want to have a conversation. And I've gotten business out of it, Joe. There's a reason why my company doesn't mind me doing this. You know, they actually consider this to be Michael's doing his advertising for the day. And it's great because it keeps me in business. And I've had my biggest year ever in financial services. Last year was my biggest year ever. The year before that was my biggest year ever, which means that my company is growing pretty rapidly, Joe.
Yeah.
Now there will be a time, Joe, this month that I need you to be aware of that I have a convention that I got to go to on a Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be in San Antonio of all places. I'll be at the Grand Hyatt the 15th and the 16th. So we got to be aware of that and see if I can sneak away or at least do a segment or two or whatever the case might be. Tony says, hit the like button, hit the love button. Not the like button. He wants to hit the love button.
And we do got that super chat coming in from Tex-Mex Frank.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
There he is. And he says, enjoying the show. Old man Sitco clip for Los Cowboys, America's team, kicking off the season. Thank you, Tex-Mex Frank. We appreciate the super chat and all the support, not only that you give us, but everybody else, man. So we'll go ahead and play the video clip of the old man in front of the Sitco over here. Puro Exit 7.
Oh, me pegas toda la pura verga. Se trepan a la verga. Mira.
That's funny, dude. Thank you so much for the support. We have another $5 super chat come in. And this was about my Segway. Sam Salinas earlier said dirty Segway. He says, quote, I am the official Segway raider of the Area 210 podcast. I'm like the Killer Instinct guy who yells the different types of combos. So when I was saying how much child support I needed to pay, and I said, if you want to help me pay for the child support, help me with some commissions.
You know what? Just because he said Killer Instinct, I got to play this one, dude. I've been waiting to play this one for a while.
Ultra combo!
JHNSB says San Antonio is too poor. Are you sure? Well, we're having the convention over there because San Antonio is a convention town. So last year's convention for the firm that I work for, and there are 12,000 financial advisors nationwide for this firm. We had it in Orlando last year. I did not go because I was in transition from one company to another. And this year they decided to have it in San Antonio. So it's going to be at the Grand Hyatt the 14th through the 16th. So I'll be there and it's a Sunday through Tuesday, I believe. So I'll be out there for that. What I found interesting, Joe, saying San Antonio is too poor. It's kind of funny. Chica and I were in Miami. And we're driving from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. And it's so weird because if you think about San Antonio or Houston or Austin or Dallas, the freeways look the same. And you're driving around and you exit and right away, gas station, right away, Starbucks, right away, taqueria, right away, McDonald's, Whataburger, In-N-Out, Bill Miller's, right? Chick-fil-A. Every single exit in San Antonio, 410 1604. There's that, right, Joe? I mean, you'd agree with that, right, Joe? How
No, I
hard
can
is it to
see
find
that.
how hard is it to find a gas station in San Antonio?
It's not that hard, bro.
Just exit and you're gonna find one, right? How hard
Yeah.
is it to find food? Just exit. So if you're on 410, right, and you start from Ingram Park Mall, you can go to Whataburger and you can Whataburger
You
is
can
right
even
there.
find food at the gas station. They got Subway and whatever inside
Right.
the Valero. Yeah.
You go to Bandera, well, there's Panda Express and there's Bill Miller's. You go to Evers and there's a Chinese restaurant, there's a McDonald's, and you go Babcock and there's Ding Hao and on Callahan. You go every street, right? Chica and I were hungry. And we're driving from Miami to Fort Lauderdale. It's about a 30-minute drive, 30-mile drive. In the middle of the city. So it's not like the outskirts. It's one continuous city. You can't find a gas station.
Really?
You can't find a restaurant because every gas station is like a mile from the freeway. So when you exit, you have to like go right or left about a mile or two before you find one. And then when you go to the restaurants, Joe, I cannot remember seeing any big ass signs for restaurants. Like you know how you drive by San Antonio, big ass McDonald's store, the big M, the Golden Arches, big ass Whataburger sign. Dude, everything in Miami and Fort Lauderdale is just subtle. Like it blends in with the atmosphere because they don't want to take away from the aesthetic of the palm trees, the aesthetic of the water and all that. They don't want there to be a big rotating Bill Miller's sign going like this. So I asked Chica about it because I was like, babe, like where's the restaurants? Where's the fast food?
You know
That's
what? It's when you get out of San Antonio or Texas specifically,
yeah,
you lose something called the access roads, right?
right.
They don't really have that. It's an exit, you get off and boom, you're done. And in Texas, you have access roads, and that's where you have all these little pop-up shops, like
Right.
little
It
strip malls or restaurants.
it clogs everything up.
Yeah.
So I asked Chica because I'm looking around because in San Antonio, you can't go far without seeing a taqueria. You can't go far without seeing a fast food joint that's like a chain, Popeyes, KFC,
Yeah, you got
Bill
barbecue
Miller's,
places. What
whatever.
else? The noodle, the faux noodle or
But
whatever. Yeah.
but Joe, I asked Chica, where's the fast food in this city? Guess what she says? It ain't here. I said, well, why isn't it here? She goes, because this city ain't poor. And I was like, oh my God, I'm with the right woman. She says the same. And I thought about it and she goes, Michael, fast food's the food of poor people.
It's food of the peasants. Is that what y'all are saying? Damn, Mike.
He says processed food and fast food is specifically designed for poor people. It's around poor cities. So because you go to Houston,
Well, shit. I guess I'm poor then because I like wiener and egg, bologna, processed food, water burger,
it's funny because Chica will come over here.
But that was such a bad take. Mike froze. Mike is bougie, but he has crappy internet, man. Got to change that Spectrum internet, brother. Somebody get a screenshot of this, man. Send it to us via the media share. Mike's frozen. He'll probably bounce out and then come back in. Yeah. Look at that. Dang. And fast food isn't really cheap anymore. That's true. It's not cheap anymore. Oh, now you see you came back in and your name changed to Miguelito now.
Mario Cavazza says, Mike, you and Chica needed to drive to Hialeah.
Mike, you got the poor people's internet. That's what I said. I said, Mike being bougie and you got crappy internet.
Well, you got to spend money on the important things in life, man.
Internet is important, Mike, because it's going to be a make or break for you, dude. What if you're in the middle of an important meeting and your internet craps out?
Then I just call them right back, Joe. I mean,
no, bro, you need to get better internet. You can't be with that T-Mobile 5G internet. That's garbage, bro.
So asking the question about going to Hialeah. Well, I have a couple of photos that I'm sending to you right now, Joe, from Hialeah. Chica and I went out there to go Hialeah is basically it's Calle Ocho. That's the Cuban ethnic part of it all. We got bottle service.
What is this? Calle Ocho?
Yeah. So the thing about that, Joe, is that I had no idea that I was getting bottle service. If you get bottle service, sometimes they come out with the big old lights and they have a big old display and they shoot a confetti cannon and all that stuff. All I saw was we were looking at this one restaurant. It's a very famous restaurant there on Calle Ocho. And I know I wanted a mojito, and I know that Chica wanted one. I know that my daughter and her daughter wanted one. So I'm
Yeah.
looking at the price of the mojitos. The mojitos were $16 each.
Damn.
But they had a pitcher that served 10 for 100. So I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, well, that's buy 6, get 4 free, right? Financial advisor kicking in. Like, buy 6, get 4 for free. 2 of us will have 3, and 2 of us will have 2, right? So I ordered the big pitcher, $100. All of a sudden, this rock and roll show breaks out. Confetti's being shot out because apparently I ordered bottle service at this place, and it was just me being cheap. It was me looking, going, well, if everyone has 2, that's more than buying the pitcher. So they came out with the whole thing.
That's funny, dude. Look at that. The tailgate on Saturday is free for everyone except for Mike and Chica. They got to pay.
It's fine. I'll just make more money.
Oh. You know what's funny? I think you said that to Chica one time and she just smiled. I tell her that I said that Mike says make more money and she starts to laugh. And then you said, and Joe says he's not sitting with the peasants. She thought that was funny too.
It's funny because Chica and I were talking about it last night. We go on trips so often, man, and we got to tone it down a bit. We got to tone it down. But the thing is that she likes doing things, man, and we
got to hit a bingo next time y'all are in town. We got to do a bingo trip.
They have a lot of 151, dude.
Yeah,
151. It's fun.
Hit up bingo, dude. Let's see if we win some money.
Yeah. No, Chica is an interesting character, man. And if you all want to go out there again, we're going to be in Lot B3 under the Lone Star Canopy. We'll be getting there at 10:30 when the whole tailgating starts. Kickoff at 2:30. Believe me, I'll have the fireball in hand, ready to go. But no, I have fun with her, and we have other trips planned this year. We've got we're going back to Miami next month because we got to finish part 2, the phase 2 of the move. Her daughter into her new place. We've got we're going to a Marine graduation ceremony in South Carolina this year. My parents rented a cabin in Oklahoma that we're going to share with Chica, my parents, and my sisters. And I think that's it for the year. I think at that point we're not going to do anything for like 6 months. So,
you know what I've been looking at lately when I've been at work? So they got this thing, right? And I have this Philo TV. It's a streaming service like Fubo, right? Fubo TV. So I'm watching, and I'm flipping through just to have something on the background as I'm working. And all of a sudden, I forgot what network it comes out on, but they have like this RVing show, right? So I'm like, just put it on, see what the heck this is about. It's kind of like House Hunters, but all the people here are choosing an RV, right? So they're choosing. Hold on, let me check. There we go. Back to normal.
Yeah.
So they have an RV, right? They have RVs, and they're trying to choose which RV do I want, and I like this one, or I have a budget of $300,000 or so. Man, some of these RVs, dude, or these trailers, they look pretty nice, man. I've been in the market to try to get one of these, right? Because I'm already gonna, be done with my vehicle, right? Paid off and all that. And I'm thinking, okay, what's my next big purchase gonna be? And I'm looking like I need a truck, and I also need an RV, or get an RV that I don't gotta have, like a trailer hooked up to it, so I can travel, right? And do things. So that's what I've been looking at. I've been looking at this quite a bit, dude. I've been looking at RVs. I've been looking at the trailers and whatnot. I like them, Mike. I'm getting the itch, man.
Yeah, the itch.
You might see me in a trailer or an RV in about a year from now. I might pull up to the UTSA tailgate in an RV.
That would be amazing. I think RVs are like boats. The best thing to do is know somebody who has one. I think that's the better option that you have there. Um,
They're nice, Mike. You got
they're
your own
nice,
bathroom, man. You got your shower. You have, in some cases, you have your own washer that also has
right?
the dryer function in it.
And so
You
some
got a
of them
nice
have
bed.
a nice king size bed. I did from San Antonio Sports Star shows at the RV Superstore and the Super Show
Yeah.
that they had at Freeman Coliseum. You had a lot over there. And speaking of San Antonio Sports Star, I just sent you a photo on our chat,
Yeah.
our area 210. Um, Speaking of San Antonio Sports Star, they're kind of in mourning over there. I don't know if you heard the story, but the person who did the live remotes over there for San Antonio Sports Star and all the other stations that Alpha Media has, Greg Shelton, he passed away. And
No.
I sent you a photo of him.
Yeah.
Jason Minix and Joe Reinagel made the announcement on Monday that he had gone in last Monday that he had a very serious health condition and that it wasn't looking good. He passed later on during the week. And I've reached out to James Pledger and all those guys. That's Greg Shelton, his dog Josie. Josie apparently has a new home now. He did not go anywhere without that dog. Greg Shelton was loved by everybody at the station. He's just one of the most unique characters out there. He did a fantastic job as doing remotes and all that, but he had a very weird exterior, man. He had a dry wit about himself, and he would always give me crap. Like he always talked trash to me, but it wasn't done in a mean way. It was done in a funny way. And I'll never forget, talking about the RVs. You brought up the RVs, and I thought about Greg
Yeah.
as well. The funniest moment I had with Greg Shelton was I'm at the RV Superstore, and I'm interviewing this one guy who like runs a superstore, and he says, "Man, we have RVs ranging from 20,000 all the way to 250,000." Blah 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 blah. I said 20,000. I said I got my credit card right here, and we all started laughing, right? And Shelton during the commercial break goes, "Like you have a credit card with a $20,000 credit line," and I said, "I do." And he gave me, why the hell would anyone walk around with a credit card? I said, I didn't mean I'm spending 20,000. It just happens to have
Yeah.
that limit. I didn't say I had a balance on there that I'd be willing to,
Yeah.
but he was walking around all angry at me, and it was just so funny. But Greg Shelton was a very, very nice man. He loved his dog. He was a hard worker. He loved Pledger and Minix and Ryan Eagle and Rob Thompson and Rudy J when I was over there. He was on all the events that, if there was a live remote anywhere, whether it be at Slackers or at the Olympia Hills Golf Course, he was out there. But we always mentioned Greg Shelton because he was moody about something, Joe. There was always something like he was always moody about something. But at the end of the day, he was a nice guy who loved his dog. And that dog, Josie, I don't know if it was a support animal or what, but that dog was at that station every day, and it was like the pet for the station. So not only did the sports star lose Greg, but they also lost Josie because I'm sure Josie is not making his way up and down the hallways anymore. But rest in peace to Greg Shelton. Very, very nice man.
I also had something I wanted to share here too. One of our friends here, a friend of mine, friend of the show here, Lawrence. You all know him affectionately as
LG.
DJ LG, man. LG had some big news that he shared. And his news that he was sharing is he's now going to be the official audiovisual guy for Spurs Sports and Entertainment. He had told me about this, and we kept it quiet, kept it under wraps here because it's his news to share, But yeah, he's thrilled to announce, he's been named the audiovisual technician for Spurs Sports and Entertainment and San Antonio FC Soccer. So congratulations to Lawrence. The funny thing about this whole thing is the way that this got set up is that Lawrence knows people. So we were at a SAFC game and the weather wasn't good that game that we went. It was raining and stuff. We got rained on a little bit, but it was part of the allure. It was fun. We're enjoying our time there. Me and Lawrence get up. We're gonna get something to drink, before the game starts. So we found our seats and then we go up concession stands to get something to drink and eat and all that. As we're passing, he sees one of the guys that he knows
Hmm.
on the camera, right? Because Lawrence does camera work too. And he just reconnected with the guy and he's, they're talking or what have you. Lawrence kept in contact with him, and lo and behold, this gig came up and he's like, hey man, you should apply. And he applied, and there you go, man. The rest is history. So thank you to the guys, the Necios that were at SAFC, because if we weren't there for that game, maybe none of this would have happened.
That's amazing. That is a blessing right there.
Yeah.
It's more than just being at the right place at the right time. It's being blessed with having the connection and the introduction to make something like that happen. But I'm a big believer in that, Joe. Um, NFL gets going tonight. We predicted 17-13, 17-14. I'm excited about this season, Joe. I think I'm more excited about this NFL season than I have been in many years because variety of different things.
Yeah.
The regression of the Chiefs seems imminent. You see teams like Cincinnati, teams like Detroit, who seem to be on the cusp of taking that next step and getting there. Seeing the resurgence of Green Bay, Micah Parsons now over there. You're seeing big teams like the Niners fall, and the Chiefs fall.
Yeah.
You see Buffalo trying to knock on the door. Big game. The playoff implications, the home field advantage implications of December might be decided this week. This Sunday night game.
Every game counts, even if you think it doesn't, because
Right.
losing games early on has ramifications that teams will later understand as the season starts to come to an end, and how important these wins and losses were during the context of the regular season, especially in the first part of the season. And then what? You're going to punch your ticket to that wild card or get a bye and get into the playoffs. A bye
Right.
is always very important to keep your team healthy, because the last thing you want is to go into a playoff berth with injuries,
Yeah.
because that's going to be the deal breaker for a lot of these teams.
For a
If
lot of teams.
only they were healthy, they could have made it, but they're not.
Well, I mean, you could say that about any team. Spurs were
Yeah.
last year with an injured Wemby for 40 games last year or 30 games was a lot. Mario Cavas asking the question, how did you rate your fantasy draft? I was not going to be in a league for the second year in a row, and I got roped into one, and we had our draft last night. So Chica was asleep in one arm, and I'm over here on my phone doing like this. Weird thing is that I had the 9 pick out of 10 teams.
Yeah.
And I got at number 9 Malik Neighbors, the Giants wide receiver. Malik Neighbors, what college did he go to again?
Come on, Mike. You know which one.
Let me see. Malik Neighbors college. Let's see here. Oh yeah, he went to LSU.
Yeah.
And then at number 12 or so I had pick number 11, right? I took another LSU player. This was not planned or scripted out, Joe. But it went back around 11, and I know he has an injury from last year, and I know that he's hurt, has a little bit of a nagging hamstring issue. But somehow, some way, at 11, Justin Jefferson was still there. Justin Jefferson, who normally go in the top 4 in the draft, people got scared of the reports of an injury or a nagging, this and the other. I took him anyway. So I have Neighbors and I have Justin Jefferson as my top 2 picks. Came back and got Chuba Hubbard, Justin Herbert as my quarterback. Yeah, I'm out. I thought I'd give my team a solid B+. If Jefferson is healthy and puts up the numbers he normally does, then I had an A+ draft because I got arguably 2 of the 3 best receivers in the first round, in the first 2 rounds.
Nice.
Joe, are you in fantasy this year?
No, man, I don't got time for fantasy football, dude. I barely got time to do a lot of things here, even things around the house. I mean,
Yeah.
I've just been so busy lately. Like I tell you, man, I have a ton of nieces, man. They've been kicking my ass lately. Last weekend, during that Labor Day weekend, I'm like, man, I'm going to get some rest in. And they're like, oh, yeah, don't forget it's your niece's birthday on Sunday. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, damn, what did I get her? So then I had to take my favorite niece, the little one that's like 11 years old, with me to the mall to go and get stuff for her sister,
Hmm.
And my little niece kicked my ass, dude. She had me walking all over the place, going to store after store after store. She had me go to Bath and Body Works, bro. And she's putting everything in my face. Smell it, uncle. Smell this. I'm like, oh God, man.
Okay, I hate that store, Joe. I sneeze like crazy whenever I go in there.
Yes.
But I walked into the one in the Woodlands the other day. I was with Gabby, and she wanted to go, and it wasn't as bad because it was it was spread open, and there wasn't like a lot of inventory there, so it was fine. So I thought I'd be nice. So I bought a couple of soaps, right? Because they said the fall pumpkin spice
Yeah.
soaps are out. So I bought two of the spice soaps, like the different variety of pumpkin spice soaps, and I bought some flowers for Chica. And I picked her up at the airport. And I said, "Here's some soap. Here's some flowers. Welcome back. Miss you." She comes back and tells me, "Michael, the flowers are beautiful. Thank you for getting them for me. But as for soaps," she goes, "I have like 15 of them." She goes,
Uh,
at the semi-annual sale, I stock up for the year, but we'll use yours during Thanksgiving," is what she said.
God. It's funny, dude, that look at what Sam Salinas says. Joe, there ain't nothing wrong with going to Bath and Body Works. No, there's not. My little niece, she goes and picks out stuff for me. Like they have a men's section. So I'll go there and I'll start looking. And she's like, well, what are you looking to get, uncle? And then I'll be like, well, I like this or this. And I'm like, which one smells better? And she'll pick something out for me. She'll like, this is the one.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'll trust you. So she picked me out a bottle of lotion that I've been using. She picked that out months ago. I still have it. It smells good. It's like a bourbon
Oh, yeah,
smelling one.
the
The
bourbon
bourbon
one's
one's
good,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, I have gone off and done nicer soaps and shampoos. That's the evolution of Michael. Is that I've been dressing better, except for this shirt, I guess. I've been dressing better and all that stuff. But what's funny about it is that Chica has gotten me into like better soaps. I've gone away
Yeah.
from the whole soft soap and zest and Irish Spring and all the crap. Because when you're a single guy, you just grab one and go on, right? She's like, "No, I want you to smell this way." So
Yeah.
she buys me my cologne, she buys my clothes, she buys my soaps and shampoos. And I told her, I'm like, "Baby, do whatever you want me to wear. I'll smell however you want me to smell. If it makes
No
you happy,
Doves
it
men,
makes you happy."
no Doves men care.
No,
The bar soap, Zest, Irish
Zest.
Spring. Oh my God, man.
Okay, so they're
No,
asking me
but
how my team went. So I'm going to show you my team here, Joe. I have as my quarterback Justin Herbert. My running backs, Chuba Hubbard, Brees Hall. I have as my wide receivers. I have several wide receivers, Joe. I have Justin Jefferson, Malik Neighbors. I have Garrett Wilson. I have Zay Flowers, Travis Hunter. I have Downs from the Colts. I picked up two running backs that could be big if the starter goes down. I picked up Rico Dowdle. In
yeah,
case Chuba Hubbard goes down, Rico Dowdle will back him up. I picked up Tyler Algier because in case Bijan Robinson goes down, Tyler Algier can do well. I got Bo Nix as my backup quarterback. My kicker is Kai Fairbairn from the Texans, and I have Tyler Warren, the tight end from the Colts, the first round draft pick, because Brock Bowers came out of nowhere last year as a 6'6" tight end in the first round. Well, that's what Warren is. So I decided to get him and see if he can match a little bit what Brock Bowers did. But Joe, we gotta smell nice, Joe. Gotta smell nice.
you
Chica's got
know that
Chica's got
oh,
me all dressed nice, Joe. She got me, I now wear boots. Come
boots, no
on.
mames.
And we're not talking about cheap boots. I'm over there with the Tacovas. I got my bag. I got my backpack. I got my duffel bag, Joe.
Yeah, no, man.
You
Like
guys turned me into
I was
into the cowboy of her dreams.
no, like I was saying, like with my nieces, man, because we got so many nieces in the family. Even this last weekend, it was like I said, it was one of my niece's birthdays. I think I'm done. I go to the dinner, whatever on Sunday, and Uncle pays for a lot of it. Of course, I'm a good uncle,
Hmm.
and I'm surrounded by nothing but women on the table.
Yeah.
And I have my daughter with me too. And it's just That's the way it is. My sister in law has like a bunch of daughters. So there we go. I'm done. All right. I get to relax on Monday. Man, I'm looking forward to it. And then my brother-in-law calls me and is like, it's the baby's birthday today. She turns 1. I'm like, God, man, y'all are killing me, man. So I have to go out there like at 5, and he lives over here by what do you call that? Alamo Ranch and all that,
Yeah,
Alamo Downs. Not Alamo Downs, Alamo Ranch, and
Elm Ranch,
by
yeah.
Lone Star Parkway and all that out there, that gated community. So I have to go out there too. I'm just like, God, man. And then it's like, that's what been encompassing all my time on the weekends. It's not a bad thing. It's spending time with family, man. But I'll tell you, man, nothing will bring you to your knees faster than hanging out with these little girls like 11, 12 years old, wanting to go like to them partying is like, hey, we can go to the mall, we can do this. Dude, they kick my ass, man. I mean, even the little ones want to spend money. They like going to Target. They want to go to Starbucks. I'm like, it's in their DNA, dude. They kick my ass. I'm like, man, I need a break from y'all already, man.
Dude,
Oh,
I've having little ones. My daughter is asking if me and Chica are gonna have a kid, and I joke that we will, but Chica has no desire to. Uh,
yeah,
she goes, "No, I'd rather go out on trips." She goes, "You'd rather stay home and do nothing, or you're gonna go on trips?" It's like, Chica, I'd rather go on trips. Rather do that.
yeah. Going on trips is always fun, especially if you got an RV or a trailer, man. That's what I'm looking to get. I'm getting the itch, man. Like I've been even watching, like I said, that program while I'm working, on the Philo app. So I don't know, man. I'm looking at them and I'm like, damn, these. I'm even looking at the prices. I'm like, this isn't too bad. Like I can do this.
I mean, it depends what you're trying to get, man, because you don't want to go too cheap, but at the end of the day, you don't want to necessarily have a mortgage payment either.
No, I mean a Class C. If I'm gonna drive, I don't need nothing like 30 feet long. But
Right.
something comfortable enough for like 4 people, maybe 5. Could do
Mhm.
that. Same
I
thing
mean,
with the travel trailer.
some of them have like booths built in there, so you can have like an eating table around there and stand up
Yeah,
shower. And it's not like the ones in the 80s, because I remember back in the day going on the with vacation with family, and you'd have campers. Remember campers, Joe? Whatever happened to campers? Pickup truck
God,
campers. Those were the
yeah,
days. But you'd have somebody who had an RV, and it was basically a porta potty attached to like a twin size bed,
yeah.
and it was just gross. It looked like you're gonna cook meth, like Breaking Bad.
You're going in a bucket somewhere.
Yeah. But now, Joe, it's traveling in luxury. You have queen size, king size bed. I've seen some that
Got a
have
fireplace, air
ha-
condition. I mean,
big screens that come out of the ground and come
yeah,
up
man.
on top. You have granite countertops, and you have a real fridge and all that stuff. I mean, it's beautiful. I have clients who do it, but man, you have to be about that life. You have to be about
That's
that.
I'm feeling the itch, Mike. That's what I'm saying. Like as I getting older, I'm like, I want to travel more. I want to go and do things. Like if I want to go somewhere, I want to stay there for a bit, you
Yeah,
know? And I want to drive there. To me, driving is the allure. It's the call of the road, right? You go out there and see what's on the horizon, right? You can see things that are off on the side of the road that maybe catch your eye. You know what? Let me go and check it out.
yeah.
You know, that's kind of what I want to do. So I like driving. I like the open road because I can drive like a long distance. Like I'll drive 24, 25 hours straight and I'm good, bro. I can go that distance, man. I'm
I
good
I'm
on the road.
I'm a little bit afraid of the RV life, because I'm watching the on Hulu right now, the uh, the Green River Killer.
God, man.
There's a serial killer out in Seattle, the Seattle area,
Jeez,
the
bro.
Seattle, Washington, Portland area, and how Ted Bundy was enlisted as for help in trying to find him. Ted Bundy
Serial
was
killer.
Ted Bundy was trying to get away from being executed, so
Jeez.
they were interviewing him, kind of like Silence of the Lambs. 10 years later was written
He'd be
based on
doing that
this. I had his
Clarice.
kidney with a Chianti, some fava beans
Oh.
and a nice Chianti. Very nice,
Oh
Joe.
man, we're gonna have to call it, Mike, because we've been going on long already.
Hour
149.
50. Wow,
Yeah.
Joe. Joe, again, B3, Joe. Section B3,
B3.
40,000 fans expected on Saturday afternoon. Texas State against UTSA. The highest over-under of any college football game this weekend, set at 66.5, Joe. Fireworks expected, as I said the other day, first team to 40 wins. First team to 40 wins. Let's call it that way. But, Joe, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm looking forward to the show as we'll preview tomorrow's Saturday's UTSA game. And again, give me a call if you have any help, need any help with finances. 210-508-0369. And again, P.F. Chang's having happy hour from 3 to 6 today at P.F. Chang's La Cantera. Go visit and go say hi to Sean. He's a big supporter not only of Area 210 podcast, but a big supporter, season ticket holder of UTSA football as well. Reach out to him when you're at P.F. Chang's. We'll be back tomorrow, fellas. See ya. I'll wear a nice shirt tomorrow.